Okay, it's starting to come online. Starting to see some things. And starting to see some more things. I like it. Hello, hello. And this will start our February 1st session. Um, so, with that, let's just jump right into it. We had our little pre session chats. We are going to be down a few people today, but we do have the slightly ill Comey with us today. We have Lauren, we have Mordecai, and we have the Bree. So we have enough to run a good session, and we'll see how it goes. Since it's been a little bit with real life kind of messing up all our schedules, let's do a quick recap of what happened last session. You traveled over the Devil's Backbone Mountain and into the Alabaster Plateau with Remy as your guide. Having rescued Bran, a hunter part of the larger group looking for Aidenwall's missing children, you soon discovered that the town is at war with itself. Two groups, one dedicated to Newt and the other to Click, blame one another for the children's disappearance, claiming they are working with evil fae or fiends. Upon arriving in Aidenwall, you find the town is in the midst of a severe blizzard, keeping most of the inhabitants bunkered inside of their homes. Traders and travelers, such as yourself, have made their way to the Dancing Dwarf, a very robust inn in the main thoroughfare of the town. Here, you took some time to eat, raise spirits, drink spirits, and talk to the locals more about what has happened. You discover that a man named Caleb was accused of being a witch and locked up for working with the ones responsible for the missing children. You learn that his room at the inn is under guard, but may still hold valuable clues. Renting an adjacent room, you come up with a plan to gain entry, convincing the local militiamen stationed outside that you are investigators. Inside, you found a hidden satchel, a missing jar of high-quality green ink, the ones commonly used for spell scrolls, and evidence of a strange chalk blood-like powder that was used to create an unknown symbol. One, you believe, was used for protection before it was broken. As the winter storm does not appear to have any signs of letting up, you decide to rest and head out to the tower where Caleb is being held in the morning. And that is where we left off.
We didn't go blindly charging out into the blizzard. A rare moment of logic for us.
Yeah, it's surprising for us considering.
Yes, indeed. Now, Lauren, do you see the in map that everybody's
Yeah,
at?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I got to put your tokens on here. There is another free room, which I believe was this one here. I wasn't sure if you wanted your own private room with Senosha or if you wanted to go in a common room. Figured we'd wait till you came back to let us know.
They would probably get a private room. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking for... Where is this? Is it handouts? Yeah. It's been so long I forgot my nested folder structure in Roll20.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yes, and it does happen. And there are live notes for edible notes for your group for this town, depending on what you want to do. Here we go, Dancing Dwarf. I'm just looking for the private room price. So it'd be 2 gold pieces a night. I know it's breaking the bank, and I apologize.
Yeah, well,
Gets
gotta do what you gotta do.
all the money, right?
You know?
All right, let me get your tokens here. Go to the splat page. Here you are. Copy and keep forgetting I can just use the right mouse to do this stuff. Okay. Oh my God, they're giant-sized. Holy crap! What have they been eating? All right, so this will be their room here, and we're going to mark it as such. It's going to be bathroom. That's GP and TGP. Right. All right. So, before you go to bed, is there anything that your characters do?
I can't think of anything specific or noteworthy.
Okay.
I think we did stuff. I'm good.
Well, I like to just double check because I've had times where it's like, all right, you guys sleep. Like, no, I wanted to do X, Y, Z. You know, so I just want to make sure we don't run into those awkward situations. So if Willow and Bree are good,
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I think Bree was getting some earplug.
now for those who are not here today, their characters will be pretty much staying at the inn, just doing whatever. Kind of like Menhir's just here doing serving wenches or whatever. So it's just going to be your little group here. All right. With that, sleeping through the night goes fairly well. The rooms are heated. There are little hearths in there to keep everything warm and toasty. The wind outside just kind of whistles and howls by your windows, picking up every now and then. The storm still not letting up during the night, and when you wake up in the morning, you get the wonderful smells of various foods being cooked and served down below. It's a nice, pleasant feeling to wake up warm on a comfortable bed with the smells of delicious foods being prepared instead of, out in the wilderness, having crickets and mosquitoes bite you. It's a nice change of pace. As you look outside, though, the storm still has not let up.
I think we're going to have to go out into it.
It does appear that way.
How far is it?
Let's see. Let me try to pull up a little thing here. There should be a shut of players. So to give you kind of an idea, your group you're at location 7 on there, so kind of like the middle left, that large building. Where you need to go is location 31, which is that large tower, the only tower on the map. And that's kind of the middle right. So it's essentially across town.
I don't know, maybe 30 minutes at the most.
It looks to be on a hill.
Inside a fort. Hmm.
Well, the hill, if we walk a certain way and we don't run into a hill after however many expected minutes, then we know we screwed up and we're lost.
I mean, there's a path and we can follow buildings.
Yeah,
How
we
heavy is
just-
the blizzard?
yeah, that's a good point.
It's fairly strong flurries. It's very consistent is the main issue, and the snow is sticking. That coupled with occasional gusts of very strong wind shoots blinding snow everywhere. It's basically what you'd expect to see a winter storm, in like a rolling plains. It's just snow with wind every now and then, just gusts of wind picking up some of that loose snow, creating these little clouds of snow that get pushed everywhere. And as they hit like the buildings, they start making those little snow dunes around them.
Yeah. As a Midwesterner, I know those storms too well.
I lived
So-
in Louisiana for forever.
So you know, what is the snow you speak of?
So greatly decreased visibility with periodic whiteouts. Yeah. Well, thankfully we have a ranger with us.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Bree's like, really? We do? And that's when the confidence levels drop 3 levels that day. All right, well, you wake up and not a lot of commotion in the hallway on the upper floor. Either the patrons are still sleeping or some have already made their way downstairs where there is a lot more commotion. Just not a ruckus, but more of just busybodies, movement, spoons hitting like the sides of like metal tureens and, bowls and flagons kind of hitting tables.
If we're going to go out and that, should probably head out before it gets even worse.
Get a nice little bit of breakfast in. Nice warm bellies.
Yeah, we should definitely get breakfast first, though.
I'll head downstairs.
All right, you all head downstairs, and you see some of your other fellows. You see Menhir just pretty much chowing down. He's got a wench in each arm, just kind of giggling as he's apparently telling them tales of his homeland, his home world, or whatnot, and they're just kind of giggling, and he's just enjoying this big mound, this feast of meat in front of him. The rest of the room is filled with various patrons. Some of them have like thick cloaks on to kind of help keep warm. There are hearths burning in here, help cooking. The heats from the kitchens also help warm the interior. But every now and then when somebody tries to make their way outside, large gusts of cold air just come in and chill your skin, sending kind of little goosebumps. Little bits of snow make their way in, and some of the little the young lads that help clean up in here scurry to kind of clean the snow up before it melts and sogs and stains the wood.
Right, so I'm going to take Zenosha to the side for a moment. So you keep saying my disguise is a little bit racist. It's the only thing keeping them from executing me. So if you have an idea on how to make it a little bit more authentic, I could really appreciate the help.
She cracks her knuckles. I have a few ideas.
Okay. I'm listening.
Well, you're too, a little too well kept, if you get my meaning. You're obviously not highborn, and you do kind of stick out because of that. So, may need to get you a little dirty, little frizzle. Just kind of like messes your hair up a little bit and starts like tying some of the hair back in a slightly sloppier bun, and almost like smudges some things on the side of your face. It's like, if we had some proper extra bits, we can probably do a little better job, but this will have to do for the short term. And try not to draw too much attention to yourself, please. We wouldn't all be murdered because of your secret.
Okay.
Well,
Which secret?
The one that you asked me to give you assistance in keeping.
Oh, okay.
And she kind of whispers to Barth, "How has she survived this long?"
I don't know. Dumb luck, probably.
I didn't know that amount of luck existed. We should take her gambling sometime.
Probably.
I can hear you guys.
No, you can't.
Oh. And I'm gonna wander off to go prepare my spells for the day.
Okay. Does that involve anything particular that you do during the preparation?
No, just the usual prayers and changing out the spell list.
Now, here's the question. Which deity are you praying to?
We're gonna pray to Zamir, not the Mad God. So, how long does it take for Newt appears?
How long till you get smited with a some random spell, you know? Like Flame Strike? Just... Are you really praying to Zamir?
Yes.
And are you doing this in the Commons?
No, that's called suicide, and
Well, I mean, Newt does not appear. But you do make your prayers to Zamir.
we're gonna shift down magic weapon for Zone of Truth.
Okay.
Now I'd like to go over what just happened between Zenosha and Aerie.
Willow.
No, yeah, whatever. I'm sick too. Leave me alone. Aerie didn't want to look like a racist or a racist impersonation anymore.
Yeah.
So she went to Zenosha, who was like, "You're not dirty enough." Okay, there we go. Good job. That's what happened, right?
Well, without an actual tools, she's basically, because Willow's a dryad and she's way too like charismatic. She looks too much like a pretty fae, rather than
No. We're not dressing this up. She went to Zenosha to not be a racist impersonation of an orc, and Zenosha just made her dirtier. That's what happened.
She made her look more like an orc that would be traveling in this part of the realm. She's, as she was mentioning during the conversation, Willow is obviously not some sort of highborn, so she is too pristine for a common traveler with that.
No, yeah, I get what clothes you're putting on this. I'm just pointing out the mannequin underneath.
Well, I mean, she really wanted to kind of, rough her up a little bit at first. The thought had crossed her mind.
I was expecting it, actually.
It's like, you need a few scars.
But that would have just make them look more violent.
Well, I mean, they are known for their fits of rage.
Okay, just kind of putting it out there. I'm fucking around. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Just be glad at least the places you've been to have had positive experiences with Azamar. Because you stick out also like a very sore thumb.
I do, especially with my noble clothes.
So, you pray. Anybody have anything else that they do? So did you eat breakfast? Kind of prepare? Do you discuss? I mean, what do you plan to do when you get to the tower? Do you even have a plan? We want to speak to the prisoner, the one accused of assisting those who kidnapped half a village's children.
It's a bit, it does seem a bit suspicious.
No, we just do what I did the previous night. Just go there, flash the Fearless Lander's badge, and say we're here to look into the issue. Can we talk to the prisoner?
Makes sense.
Can most certainly try.
It's rational and it's logical. It makes sense, and it won't draw attention to ourselves. If they turn us away, we can start looking to more underhanded means of getting what we want.
Seems reasonable enough.
That's when Bree kills all the guards and mentions it's much easier to get past the dead guard than a living one.
I mean, it is true.
Is Bree?
But hang on. The guards aren't homeless, so she wouldn't randomly kill them.
You say that. She could
Hang on.
flick a dart at you and like do 30 damage.
Is Bree Rule 63 Ninja Brian?
Not sure on that reference, so I couldn't answer that.
Yeah, that really did not land.
Potentially.
I mean, I'm familiar with the old Fireball meme, but not that.
No, it's Ninja Sex Party.
I got it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, So that's your plan, okay.
Did y'all hear that car in the background just now?
Nope.
No.
I was the only one heard it. It's fine because it was the joke leaving me behind.
Ah,
Hmm.
well, what do you do? Servers come and take your empty plates and ask if you want refills for your mugs. Some of the other patrons are trying to either returning back upstairs or trying to head out to check the weather.
One last hot drink before we go outside. How's that sound?
I'm gonna come down. I've got a rope
So now
You
she
know
just
what?
holds out her jug, and she's like, "Drink some of this. It'll put fire in your belly."
What is it?
Just it's better not to ask.
Don't
All right.
don't spill it on the floor. You'll strip the paint.
Does that mean this is alcohol?
Well, considering Senosha and her
Yeah.
ability
Her fondness for alcohol.
and her
I
alchemist
don't-
jug that she commonly uses to fuel said alcohol.
I don't drink. I tried it once and it didn't work out.
Search yourself. Just takes another swig.
Some hot tea, please.
All right. Anything in particular, like you want exotic teas or just some local tea?
The local is fine, just as long as it's hot and strong.
All right, you got it. Coming right up, and the little girl just goes back, and after probably about 10 minutes or so, comes back with this piping hot cup. You can just see the steam trails coming off of it as she brings it to you. There you go. One very hot cup of our finest local tea.
Thank you. And I start sipping at it.
And it is quite hot.
Good. I'll burn my lips a little bit.
All right. Well, you finish your tea, and it was. Let's see. Let's go do this here.
Hang on. I need to roll
Very
for
good, actually. Some of the better tea that you've had in a while.
nice. I need to roll for my wand charges.
You don't need wand charges. You're all right.
All right, back at full. Thank you.
All right. Well, we have nothing else to do. We should probably try to make our way out there.
Yep, I'm ready. Ready as I can be.
Okay, everybody take hold of the rope. That way nobody wanders off and gets lost.
Do you really tie a rope around yourselves?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I'm gonna stick my head out and see how snowy it is first.
There's about 3 feet of snow on the ground. Some people have tried to move through, making like small little trails, but it's a good bit of snow.
Yeah, we're taking the rope.
Give you a perspective. Any of y'all seen the Hateful Eight?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Christopher Walken in it?
No.
What was that movie? That was a cool movie. The one at the end where he's like, "Put your hands up." No, I've got a gun. I don't care.
No, that wasn't that. This was the Tarantino one that he did with the 8 individuals that were stuck out in a small little, like, I guess you'd call it an inn, out in the old west. It was in the winter, and to go to that, like, to the well in the outhouse, you had to, like, they had like little pikes and rope that were hammering in the ground because it was just blinding blizzard.
So probably should use the rope. Yeah.
It's Seven Psychopaths. That's what it was.
Ah, yeah, okay. All right, well, if you're tying yourselves to the rope, who's on the front of the rope, and so forth and so forth?
I guess Barth will be on the front of the rope.
Okay. And who be next?
Actually,
Okay.
I think it should be
Is
Elodia.
Remy coming with us?
Do you want Remy to come with you?
I think Remy should stay at the end.
If we don't come back, come looking for us.
All right, yeah. Be safe out there. Doesn't look too friendly.
No, it doesn't.
All right, so we have Elodia and whom else? Who's the next?
We just want to go Barth, Senosha, Mordecai, Will. Because if for some reason I get cut off on the tail,
Or stay by the person that always picks you up.
I'm also immune to the cold and I have food supplies that I can regenerate.
Okay.
I think I have warm clothes. I'm wearing my warm winter clothes.
All right. And how much
have
rope are
the-
you using to bind yourselves like this, to tie yourselves in this little daisy chain? Like
I mean, it's
50 feet, 100 feet?
just 50.
Okay, so at 50, that gives you, minus what ties around you, about 10 feet between you. So there would be, like, let's say Elodia, 5 feet of space, Barth, 5 feet of space, Senosha, 5 feet of space, Willow.
sounds about right.
All right. So, you all head out after tying yourselves up, so you don't get separated and lost in this hellish ice storm. And let's see, Elodia, I would like
Yeah.
you to make some survival checks. So just make a survival check right now. See if you can try to guide the group. Now, do you have like plains or grassland as your favorite terrain? Because I know you have like forest and I
I
think
have forest and desert.
desert. Okay, so that'd be a no. All right.
Well, with Barth in second, he could be guidance.
Yeah.
So you slap a guidance on her. Okay. Good job. All right.
You slapped too hard, Barth.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, giving guidance to Elodia, bringing her 18 to a 19. She begins kind of shuffling down that thoroughfare, trying to guide everybody to where you've been told that that tower was. Making your way down as the road begins to kind of snake like a little S. The blizzard is still just pounding on you. As you press onward, the wind, the freezing wind is, and blinding snow begins to kind of pick up. It starts to kind of swirl the snow into like little funnels and then to larger funnels. As it does this, there's this snow tornado that begins to kind of blow in your direction. Not like 70, 80 feet, just like, 10, 15 feet. And Elodia, you notice that it moves erratically against the wind that's currently chilling your bones. That is when you notice a flash of two red glowing pinpoints like eyes from within the swirling mass of snow and wind. I would like everybody to roll initiative. And Sunosha should be fully healed, by the way. Let's see. Ooh, no, that's not everybody. Put you here, copy you. And oh dear God, why is this? Oh, that's right, because the front page, the tokens are much larger. Moving your tokens on the new map. Lodia, Barth, Sunosha. What are we missing? Oh, missing Mordecai. And let's get you. Nope. Okay, trying to get everybody in their proper order here. Gotta move this turn order out the way. Here we go. And y'all should be entering the new map right meow. So get this here. I'm not seeing the turn order on the player turn order for some reason. Huh. Weird. I mean, I'm seeing the order that everybody rolled. But,
Here, let me just re-roll, see.
It might be because we did it on the other map.
no. I mean, it's doing it now. I think it's because it wasn't popped up when it was being rolled, maybe.
Oh yeah, that might be it. That might.
So. Yeah, stay there. Stay there. Damn it. Stay there. Okay, turn order. Let's try this again. Stop being dumb. And this because this is driving me nuts. Oh god, it actually worked. Holy crap. Let me get out of that. Handouts. Let's turn that off. So this is what you see here. Just going to show you this little handout here. With glowing red little beady eyes.
Oh, that's unpleasant looking.
Ooh, so it actually has this because of that. All right, I'm gonna make sure I don't touch those keys. And come on, descending order. So many 15s in the tracker. Wait, why is there double of everybody?
Oh, probably because like we rolled initiative again because it wasn't up.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So because I'm not seeing everybody who's on here. So Lodia, well, I mean, I am as a DM, but the player version is just not seeing it for whatever reason, and I'm not worried about it because that's not important. What is important is that Elodia gets to go first, and then I also change this music up because it does not fit the mood. There we go. Perfect. And so Elodia, what would you like to do?
It has evil red eyes, so I'm shooting it.
Okay.
Does a 14 hit?
14 does not hit as your arrow flies through the mass of whirling wind and snow.
Okay, let's try again. And another 14, so that's a no.
Elodia, why are you shooting snow?
Do you not see the red eyes? And I point at it.
I think that's a building, and those are candles.
I don't think so. Is it moving closer to us?
It's moving radically in your direction with glowing red eyes. Like, the wind would blow one way, this thing is clearly going against the wind at certain periods. So anyway, does that end your turn?
Yes.
Okay. So that's probably not the correct Mordecai. That looks like the correct Mordecai, so we'll get rid of this one here. Alright, Mordecai.
Okay. I can't see my guy anymore on the tracker, but do I recognize this thing? Can I tell if it's like a air elemental, snow elemental?
You can try. Roll knowledge religion. Religion check here.
Just a 12.
As far as you can tell, not an elemental, but you're not quite sure what it is. But you know, like, while somebody could mistake it for an elemental, you realize it doesn't have certain things that an air elemental would have, so you know it's not that.
Okay. How we're tied by the dumb rope. How can I move? How is movement working right now?
Unless the people in front of you move to give you some more room, you would be kind of stuck there unless you want to cut the ropes and move.
Fuck it. I just got him back. I may as well cannon. I'm going to pull out my wand and use 6 charges to cast a magic missile at 6th level.
Oh shit! Okay. Mordecai ain't fucking around. He pulls out a howitzer.
me see. It's 8. 31 damage, force damage.
Okay, gotta make sure I do the right keys here. And just making sure. Does it have any? No, okay. Alright, you blast it with the very amplified magic missile. A lot of the snow and wind kind of disperse briefly. The eyes just kind of flash red, and you see some of the nearby snow just start to pick up as the wind also picks up around this thing, creating more of that tornado. But you did disperse it a little bit.
Okay.
And this thing is not flying in the air. It is still like on top of the snow, touching the ground.
Can I move like 5 feet forward? How far can I move forward?
Let's say you can move that. You have enough slack to do that, but any more, and then you would be dragging Willow. And you'd have to make checks for that.
I guess my turn's done.
Okay. We are going to actually move this down here, because I like players going before monsters on the same initiative here. Senosha or Barth, who would like to go first?
I guess Barth will go first.
Okay, just move him up on the order here. All right.
Well, considering that, it's a bit far, we're going, Barth is going to, gonna fire Eldritch Blast. Yeah.
All right. The crackling bolt of...
Does a 26 hit?
26 does hit as the black and greenish crackling energy flies from the palm of Barth's hand straight out to this entity, and you deal 9 force damage.
And then second bolt, does a 19 hit as well?
19 does.
Alright, so that's another 9 damage. Then Brett's gonna move up here, and then it's gonna be his turn.
All right.
And for
Go ahead.
yeah, and then for Senosha, I think.
She does have a couple ranged weapons, but not
Yeah.
a ton.
Yeah. Probably just gonna throw a javelin at it.
Okay.
So 26 is gonna hit again. Yep.
Damn. All right. So yeah, she just whips the javelin and just pulls it, and with precision goes. It does pass through the wind, and the wind just kind of kicks the spear's momentum around, almost twirling it. But you do see like the snow disperse, and that does irritate this entity when it does so. So it is having an effect on it. Actually, wait, hang on.
All right, then she's gonna throw the other one. Another javelin.
Actually, wait, hang on.
Oh.
That was... Okay, so, yeah. Yeah, it does have an effect on it.
Alright.
5. So, it's going to be...
Why do you have advantage?
That's a good question.
It's probably a sheet. I think it's set to damage.
Yeah, it was. I didn't notice. So if you want to take out the
No,
second
I'm not gonna
option.
wreck Connor right now. We'll just continue on. It's
All right.
not that detrimental here with that, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
All right. Then she's gonna move up there, and that's gonna be her turn.
Now the entity will move. Snow picks up as it glides through the wind. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. So, and it does have properties where it can enter a hostile creature space and stop. So, Elodia is kind of in this thing's space, and it is going to. The winds suddenly pick up, like you're getting hit with like ice shards, bits of sleet. This thing is just kind of like spinning around like a blender. As it does so, Elodia, I need you to make a strength saving throw. Ooh. Okay, so that is going to fail that. So, a couple things happen. One is that, Elodia, you take 36 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are flung 5, 10, 15. She can't go any further because of the rope, but like the rope, Barth, you kind of like get tugged as she flies by you from this, like just getting hurled. And yeah, that's. In fact, because she's tugging on that, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw. Barth.
All right. Oh boy. So 10.
10. You are, when she pulls on that rope, and because of the ice and all that, you kind of lose your footing. You weren't expecting her to just go flying with full body mass plus the force of this creature tossing her. You are knocked prone. Now, nobody else behind you is knocked prone, thankfully, but you are prone.
All right.
So that's something I forgot to do, is try to make some custom tokens next time. Forgot that was a thing again, because that was something new they added. Ironically enough, that ends this thing's turn here, because that was a big action. So with that, we're going to Willow.
Okay. I'm going to use my slack to come up here. Get my aura up and showing.
Okay.
Melodia's pretty banged up.
So Willow activates her aura like this. Loose snow just kind of drifts up like a few inches and then just settles back down.
Yeah, I'm gonna boop Elodia with a third level.
That rope actually prevented her from getting a lot more damage.
Yeah.
18 healing to Elodia.
Thank you.
And as a bonus action, I will wish I had bonus actions. And in my turn.
I think that's a free action to wish you had more bonus actions, to be honest and fair. But that is good. Okay. So with that, it's going to bring us back up to Elodia.
Okay, so I'm doing the same thing. I'm hoping I can. 19?
19 will hit.
Okay.
Arrow pierces through it and just kind of spins off as it passes through it, but it disperses enough of the creature that it does some additional damage here. And let's get your other one here as your second shot. Also, like the first, seems to be affecting this creature. Okay. All right. Do you move any?
No, I'll stay here.
Okay. Let's see. All right. If that ends your turn, we're going to go to Mordecai.
Oh boy, this rope.
It's like soap on a rope, but with adventurers.
I think I can
Ooh.
move here with the slack I have.
Yeah, because you're still 5 feet from Willow.
I'm gonna draw in some energy. Let's see. An empowered lightning bolt at 4th level.
Ow. Okay. That's
Dex save 17.
okay. Does make the save. Makes a
Wow, that's really good.
25.
Damn. All right. I'll
rolled really
start
high.
rolling. I think I'll keep what I have. Jesus. So that's going to be a 41 damage before halved.
Okay. So let's see. Now you do notice as your lightning strikes it, it does affect it, but it seems to be resisting the lightning bolt itself, the lightning energies.
God damn it.
Burn it.
Well, I tried, but it didn't work.
Next should be a fireball.
Don't have it.
Oh.
Yes, cast fireball at point blank with everybody tied to a flammable rope.
Don't worry about it. Fine.
Well, personally, I would have aimed a little bit further out, but if that's what he wants to do.
like the houses down where they can see in between the flurries of snow. It's like, mommy, what's those dancing flames out there?
Those are our adventurers, little dear. And that's why you can never become one.
That's it for me.
All right, Barth, you are up, sir.
Alright, gonna spend half my movement to get back up.
Okay.
Then I should still be able to go over here, because it's still
Yes.
only 10 feet from Elodia. Yeah. Then we're going to summon the Shadow Blade with my bonus action.
Let's get that little bit off you. Yeah. That one looks like a sword. No, I want to make one for your Shadow Blade, though.
Yeah. Then I'm going to slash at it.
Psychic.
The 14 hit.
14 does not hit.
All
Your
right.
blade kind of swishes through it, kind of twists around as the blade tries to pass through it.
And the second attack.
Now
That's
that, on the
gonna
other
hit.
hand, will definitely hit.
And then we'll use a superiority die to use a goading attack. So that's another. That's another 8 damage on that, and then it has to make a. Is it a DC 15 will save, or else it gets
Ooh.
disadvantage on attacks against anyone other than me.
Let's see what happens. Made a 19 on that.
All right. Well, we're gonna action surge,
You're like, fuck this thing.
and I'm willing to strike at it again. Oh, that's gonna hit.
Slightly, yes.
Yeah. And ooh, that's a crit.
Very nice. Damn. That is a lot of psychic. Holy crap.
Shadow Blade's really good because psych. Not really a lot of things resist psychic damage.
This is true, and you see this thing like you almost like the wind picks up like almost sound like a roar as you hit it with that crit. The eyes just kind of flash, just more intensely, just for a brief moment. Yeah, you've got its attention.
Yeah, great. So that's gonna be. It's gonna be Berth's turn.
Okay.
So then for Sinosha. It's not the right sheet.
It's all right.
Well, she can't really move up within melee range, so I guess we're gonna have her use Vicious Mockery.
Yeah, make fun of it. Your mama was a snowblower. Let's
Alright, well,
see. Well, let me see here because it's gonna be funny.
DC 15 Wisdom save.
I know.
Honestly, that's a great one.
Alright, it takes 1 point of emotional damage and has disadvantage, right? That is how. On its attacks, right? Yeah, and it has disadvantage on attack rolls it makes before the end of its next turn.
All right.
That's
She could move like one space closer to you, like above you, or below you, but she still wouldn't be close enough to it.
yeah. So that's gonna be her turn.
All right. Well, it's its turn, so it's gonna have disadvantage, which is nice. As it. Well, actually, first I need to roll a couple things here. Okay, and actually, no, that needs to be that. Wow! All right.
Wow.
Wait, why is that? Oh, okay. I thought it. So it definitely missed on the first attack that it's making on you, and the second attack is also gonna miss. Thankfully to that disadvantage there, because first one it had a natural 1, and even with its attack bonuses here, I am fairly certain, without pulling up your sheet here, that a 13 does not hit.
13 is not gonna hit, and
Yeah, it's
even
not
if
even
it did,
close.
and even if it did, I'm assuming this thing does cold damage, and I resist cold damage.
Well, that remains to be seen on that.
I mean, yeah, that's just an assumption, but you know.
But yeah, that disadvantage definitely helped. So, which by the way, it had a 2 on. It rolled a natural 2 on the wisdom save for the the mockery. However, it will move. Let's see.
Oh, wait. Actually, wait. It's
What?
gonna move. Hang on. Never mind. If it's gonna move, then.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's gonna move right here.
actually, now that I remembered, since it missed me with an attack, I can use my riposte. So I get to make another melee attack, and I get to add the superiority die to it.
Fantastic.
13 plus.
Damn. Barth just pulling
2,
out all
so
all the
15
stops
damage.
here. All right. It'll be right here. Okay. Willow.
That's nice of it to come to me.
Yes.
I was worried I was going to have to chase it down.
Well, I mean, you say that, but you know, it did knock one of your compatriots almost 20 feet away and deal about a little over half her life.
And now it's trying to do it again.
So what is Willow going to do about that? I mean, we know she's friends with Elodia, but not sure about Mordecai. Does he still owe you 10 silver?
Ooh, this would be a bad time to remember that.
Who owes you 10 silver?
You apparently.
For what?
You didn't hear that car going by, Mordecai?
No.
Yeah, it was a joke.
I
Right.
got left behind again.
Well, I'm going to take out Fury and give it a... And I will burn a first level to smite it.
Okay.
Is it a fiend or undead?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. 3d8 and it's taking 7 radiant damage.
Oof, sorry.
Did the fire seem to do anything to it?
I mean, it seems to be affecting it. The flames, you know, it doesn't catch fire because there's nothing really to catch fire, but you know, the heat is still dispersing along with the rest of the weapon. So let me get this here.
Willow is going to look very surprised for a moment that her radiant damage seems to be
Let's just not pull it all the way.
slightly more effective.
There we go.
And I'll burn another first level spell.
Okay. Had all the damage there. Thank you. Again, the winds kind of pick up almost like, sound like a roar going by your ears as the eyes just flash.
And as bonus action, I will wish I was a 3rd level sorcerer so I could quicken. But since I'm not, I'll burn 2 spell points to restore one of those first level slots.
Okay.
And that is it for me.
Lodia. This thing is right on top of you. You're in part of it, as you were once before, and it did not feel good then.
Oh, I'm gonna keep shooting it. So I'm guessing 10 doesn't hit.
Does not hit.
I'm gonna try again.
Arrows are flying by, Barth's head just.
Sorry.
You're very brave, Elodia.
Do you do anything else, Olivia?
I'll stay here.
Do you want to move?
No, I don't want to get us all tangled up.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, Mordecai.
Okay. I kind of want to move, but I have no clue where I have the ability to move right now.
So, basically, 5 feet from Willow.
Down. You pretty much have down.
Okay. Can I drop a thunder wave on it without hitting people? It's a 9-foot cube, so can I drop it at the top right
I'm pretty
corner
sure
of me and have it go out?
I'm pretty sure Thunderwave is centered on you.
No, we ran into this last time.
Yeah.
It's
So
actually
I can drop it here and have it extend out this way to here.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
That way it wouldn't hit anybody, but it would hit
that creature. Yeah.
the. Wow, such a sad thunder wave.
All right. Let me see here. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Let's see. That's 21.
On a con save?
Yeah.
Fuck. So it takes 2 damage.
Well,
And
actually, that's thunder, right? It actually takes less because it seems to be like your lightning, where it's resistant to that type of energy.
I thought Sunder was more like Sonic, but whatever. Excuse me while I be useless over here.
Oh, Barth.
All right, well, yeah, here we go. I'm going to slash at it with the Shadow Blade again.
You can
Just
roll
gonna
lower than a
perfor-
20. You know this, right?
I mean, I can.
There are other numbers on that goddamn dice.
All right. So, then for the second hit, and then on that second hit, I'm also
Lower.
going to use.
Lower.
I'm gonna use Goading Attack again. Okay, so there's only an extra 1 damage, but it does still have to make the Wisdom saving throw.
That's true. What was the DC on that?
15.
Fail.
Oh, nice. So now it gets disadvantage if it attacks anyone other than Barth, but it also gets disadvantage if it attacks Barth.
Either way, Barth wins.
Yeah. So that's gonna be Barth's turn.
Okay. And now Sinosha is up.
All right. And now that it's within closer range, she's gonna go up there. She's going to with her bonus action rage, and
She's very angry at this snow.
Yeah, she's very angry at the snow.
Now pay close attention, Willow, to how a half-orc deals with this and how they look dealing with this.
I can't see through the snow. What's going on?
Exactly.
All right, and she's going to whack it with a quarterstaff. Is an 18 gonna hit?
18 will hit, but the quarterstaff is just a regular quarterstaff,
Yeah.
so it does not have the full potential on it. But it does disperse some of the snow.
And then she's gonna go again. And then, since she used her bonus action to rage, can't flurry of blows. Can I?
No. She let's see. She did make a regular attack action, which is one of the qualifiers for it. Does it say as a bonus for that? Because if it doesn't
Rage
say
is
as
a
a bonus,
bonus.
she can use it. She has to spend one of her points though.
Flurries are bonus actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she most certainly cannot.
All right. Then that's gonna be. It's gonna be her turn.
Okay. Well then, let's see.
Bye
Move
bye,
down.
Elodia.
No. Let's go move down. And as you saw once before, the winds, the ice start to pick up around it. Now, it's not an attack, so there's not really there's no disadvantage on it. Those are stuck in its spot here when it activates this. Must make strength saving throws, which is going to be Mordecai and Sunosha.
Oh, now I roll low. Thanks, game.
Well, at least it's a 16. 16 in attack.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. So Mordecai, so Senosha's going to get flung into Barth, and Mordecai's going to get flung into Willow. And for the initial damage from this, that is going to be 42 points of bludgeoning damage, plus an additional 3 from hitting Barth and Willow for each.
Do I have temporary hit points written down? Do I still have those?
No. Because that was not prepped before travel, and you've had a long rest.
Alright, so there's what, 43 plus
It
another
would be
3?
45 in total, but it was 42
Alright.
for the initial, and an additional 3 from when they hit you, and both Barth and Willow need to make dexterity saving throws.
Damn, Barth is outside my radius.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thanks,
Willow
game.
made it. So Barth, you're going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage from Senosha hitting you, and both Mordecai, Senosha, and Barth are all prone. So, but that, thankfully, that...
69.
That's,
I got 69 HP.
hey, Barth's all for that, you know? Willow.
Hmm?
This thing's got some bad juju.
Right, well, I will heal my friends in a moment. Is it still there?
Ooh.
Oh, I just realized that Senosha was raging, so she had resistance to that. Do the bludgeoning damage.
All right. Well, you can pull that
Yeah.
back. So just half of the 45.
Yeah.
Okay, that is going to be minus. Come on. No, the snow seems to disperse as Willow takes her flaming. Well, why don't you tell us what happens?
Honestly, for this, it's just she's kind of just waving it away, flailing wildly until there's no more snow.
Just as the arm hang out like going back and forth rapidly with it, and then almost like a little kid waving a little pennant flag, just back and forth, and then eventually like the snow just from this thing drops. The snow from the sky is still falling, but the eyes just kind of vanish, and there's just all this snow around everybody.
Why are y'all laying down in the snow? Come on, get up. It's cold out.
It's no time to make snow angels.
Yeah, Berth's gonna
Ow.
Berth's gonna untangle himself from Sinosha and help them both up.
Let's tie ourselves together with rope. That's a great idea.
Well, you didn't go flying off, 60 feet that way.
Yeah, there was certainly benefit to it.
Okay, I'm gonna do Cure Wounds on Mordecai. 12.
Oh, thank you.
Does that involve shooting an arrow?
No.
Are you sure?
I mean, you could be like
I'm
Aetherius,
sure.
where you cast spells by shooting people, This is my arrow of healing. Oh, wait, whoops, that was my arrow of slaying. My bad. Alright, so yeah, Elodia begins chanting some elvish words. As she does so, her hands glow and she touches you, Mordecai. The wounds begin to kind of heal up. They're not like fully healed, there's still kind of pink scars there, but it does stop the bleeding.
Oh, thank you. I'll stand up and brush myself off.
Are we even halfway to our destination?
Yes.
Well, that's good at least. Well, I guess we should untangle ourselves from the rope and continue on.
Alright, let's see. There's so many maps here. Give me a sec. Okay. Just gonna remove everybody from the combat tracker here. But I'm gonna keep that up.
Don't worry, Mordecai. Get some rest once we get there.
All right.
Do some quick
I
reviews.
was kind of hoping to go magic item shopping later today.
I don't think this place has magic. Or
I
items.
mean,
Why wouldn't it?
They seem really different here. But they might. What you buying? What you buying? Huh? What you buying?
What are you
I
buying?
had
You're in,
some
you're in the
ideas.
wrong. This is what are you buying? This is the wrong universe for you to be in.
I mean,
I
not
had some
wrong.
ideas. Some boots, some special boots,
Oh, you mean like?
and
Oh, you
some
mean like the
special
ones that I
gloves.
have?
Or my boots. They're really nice.
A different kind of boots. And I was thinking of picking up a weapon.
Oh, I have plenty of weapons here. What would you?
I don't think you have the one I'm looking for.
Oh,
Well, we can we can worry about that later. We should probably.
All right. Well, if you continue on, Elodia, make another survival check, please.
With the guidance.
Okay, those are better.
Those are a lot better. So, pushing onward. Let me pull you up on the new map here. And just make sure this is kind of centered here for the recording. All right. Need to get rid of this here. So, first few things here, I gotta pull up a couple sheets, so bear with me. Alright. So, I'm trying to describe a few multiple things here. So, as you are approaching close where that tower is, you see what looks to be double field stone walls that are kind of filled with earth. Beyond is what appears to be the beginnings of a smallish castle that's being built around a new tower atop this low mound. And that tower is where they told you where Caleb was being held. Now, pressing further still, as you go past these walls, you see beyond them, in between those earthen walls and the main tower, there's about a dozen temporary shelters along the edge of this copse of pines that are here. These tents and like little wattle huts appear to house various workers or laborers, probably working on the castle that they had to stop because of the weather. You do see little lights, and there's campfires, like large bonfires out where people are trying to use to kind of cook, and they go out from time to time to check on the pots and, kind of spin like almost like a Dutch oven just to keep their food from burning. And they go back to their tents with their food for their, other workers and so forth. And if you continue on to the tower, you see a low, well, not low, excuse me, a two-storied tower that has a smaller tower rising inside of a larger, greater tower that's coming up from the grounds entrance, which the grounds entrance is high up a curving flight of stone stairs, which terminate at a landing to an entrance. Now, there is a kind of a drawbridge, which is currently up. I know the map shows it down, but I didn't want to have a map for up and down. So you're going up those stone steps towards the tower, and let's see. So, looking up at the tower, you can make what looks out to be like scorpion siege bows manned at the upper parts of the tower, and there are various torch lights that dance within the archer slots all around the floors of this tower.
That's a lot more defense than I was kind of expecting from this town.
Well, this is right by the castle keep. So if anywhere is going to be heavily defended, it would probably be here.
All right. Well, what's your plan?
Do we see anyone on the tower?
There are like at the top, like 40 feet up, there's manned siege weapons. But there's nobody standing like outside because there's a raised drawbridge.
I'll glance at everyone and then step forward. Hello?
I assume at this point we've untied ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if we manage to get lost while coming up,
A bunch of stairs. You got problems.
Yeah.
So, Mordecai, you're shouting, hello! Trying to get your voice over the howling winds since you're high up on this hill. You see some lights move by some of the archer slots over here, and you hear a voice shout out, "Who goes there?"
Mordecai of the Fearless Landers.
We were sent here by we were sent here to investigate the missing children's incident. We would like to speak. We would like to interrogate the prisoner.
Make a persuasion check.
Which one of us?
We'll say Mordecai with advantage since Barth is
All right.
assisting.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
27.
So after a few minutes in the cold there, you see like the light move away from the archer slots. After a few minutes, you hear the sounds of the chains rattling as this drawbridge is lowering down. On the other side, there are two figures. One is an obvious soldier of sorts. Has plate mail, has a fur cloak with the hood up, has some kind of metal helmet on, does have a little scarring on the face. You see him just kind of stand at the other end next to another individual who has layers of thick robes on, has various like bits of jewelry like necklaces, brooches, and so forth. Even has like a wand at the hip, and the robes are kind of like a light greenish in color with a little bit of sewn gold and trim, and the centerpiece from the neck down is a solid like almost not a sky blue, but just like a what you would think of a blue. I don't know if like the other terms for it, but it's not a real dark blue, but it's not a real light blue. It's just blue. It's very pure blue color. And he kind of looks over you. Investigators, Fearless Landers, who sent you?
I show them the Fearless Landers pin and just say, the Fearless Landers sent us. We're also affiliated with the. I don't remember if it's bad to say.
Well,
So
what do you
we're
say?
here to help. We're just here to help. This is my pen. It's proof that I'm a part of the Fearless Landers.
What else does Mordecai have on him?
He's wearing his noble outfit underneath his clothes.
Okay.
If you're asking about his holy symbol, it's underneath his shirt.
Okay. You're an Azamar, correct?
The blue skin tip you off? Yes, sir. I am an Azamar.
And the Fearless Landers sent you to help us. Interesting. And he seems to be looking at kind of each one of you. Kind of stops when he looks at Willow.
Willow's just quiet in the back.
I know, and he's just like, his gaze, like he's going over each one of you, like he's sizing you up, just kind of like reading you. And as he does so, he just stops at Willow for a good, awkward, like, minute, just looking at her.
Well, as you can see, we got a little beat up on our way here due to some creature. Do you think it would be all right for us to, at the very least, get out of the cold for a bit?
And the armored gentleman next to him, that depends. Are you willing to relinquish your arms?
I hand over my light crossbow and dagger.
Yeah,
Well, he doesn't collect them yet. He's just saying, like, are you willing to hand in your weapons for entry?
We shouldn't be expecting any conflict, so that doesn't seem. It seems reasonable. That seems reasonable.
As a sign of trust, I will say that I am a caster. There are some arms that I'm just not capable of handing over.
He just kind of smiles. Well then, as long as you're willing to hand in your weapons, only the militiamen appointed by the sergeant-at-arms here and myself are allowed any sort of weaponry within this tower keep. You may enter, but we would like to talk to you a bit more. Come on in. And sergeant-at-arms just kind of snaps his fingers, and you see more militiamen just come up in there waiting to collect your weapons as they let you in. So as long as you're willing to hand in your weapons, they are letting you in. So anybody try to hide a weapon or not turn in a weapon?
I hand over my light crossbow and my dagger, but my wand is in my bag of holding. It only has one charge left anyway, and I'm not risking that bitch.
Willow is doing a full inventory, and she expects all of it back.
Well, and this is the robed individual, I am his most Worshipful mage of Aidenwall, you may call me Burn. And as you come inside the tower here, you see, let's see, it's not revealing for some reason. I do not know why. It's still not revealing, and I do not know why. Oh. Because it's on the wrong layer. That's why. Okay. So, as you go into the tower, they start collecting your arms, and there's various, like, seating here, thrones. Looks like this is where they might hold some sort of gatherings in this main entry hall. The drawbridge itself, once you're inside, is raised up, and it's made out of solid oak, at least a couple inches thick, bound in iron, and it is kind of decorated, but not overly so. It's meant to be a barrier, not a piece of art. Now, there is another stone wall, and blocking off this small entryway. You do see the guards here that do flank the doors. You see some of the arrow slits where they have archers just kind of sitting there. And as you're coming in, right above, you see the murder holes, where two men with various polearms and spears were waiting to see if anybody would cause resistance trying to come inside.
I'm glad I have no interest in conflict here.
There are two burning fireplaces keeping this place warm, and they kind of flank that entrance. But again, looking at how the seating here, this is where would-be lords would sit for judgment, or have some sort of meetings for now. There's other like trestle tables that can be brought in and extended down to accommodate a few dozen people, probably up towards like 30, 40 people, if they want to do kind of like a feast or anything like that in here. There's a lot of decorative chairs that are placed along the walls, and various tapestries and decorations. A lot of them with shields, arms, hunting trophies decorate this place, but there is something that does stand out here, at least on some of the shields. Embossed on the shields is the symbol of Click.
There's been some conflict I've seen between the worshippers of Click and the worshippers of Newt. I'm surprised that you've have these out in the open.
Everyone knows that we stand by Click, much as his temple does across town. In fact, this keep is being funded by some of his churches. They are going to place proper rulership here by, well, the Viscount of the territory. But yes, recent events has created some hostilities, and it's been anything but a travesty that day, that night of sorrow. So many families lost almost all their children, if not all of them.
I'm trying to keep this down low so we could work unimpeded in the town, but I pull out my holy symbol.
You're a follower of Click yourself.
I am. You may have heard of me if you've been in touch with some of the churches. Mordecai Hillenspie.
I'm not familiar with that, but the temple might be. I'm not a heavy worshiper of Click. I do respect his teachings, and I am under the employ of his church, and do respect what he tries to do for all life. Now, do not get me wrong, I do not hold the same superstitions as other folk of this town do. Though, you say you were attacked. Was it by some of the townsfolk?
No, it was a strange creature, like a dust devil, but with snow.
I think it might have been some kind of demon.
There has been a lot of unusual activity. In fact, since the night the children have left, nothing has been really normal around here. So, you say you're trying to help with this investigation. What aid do you have? What news do you have? Any help and leads on where the children might be would be greatly appreciated.
That's something we're trying to figure out as well. We had a run-in in the mountains, and I'll give them a brief synopsis of the giants.
Well, it is their territory there, but there are nastier things in those areas. You're lucky you made it to cross. Must be very skilled travelers and explorers.
We also found the remains of another camp that seemed to also have children go missing suddenly. So it seems that it's not that whatever caused it isn't isolated to the town here.
Has the church done any of the divinations?
They have been attempting, but most of their magics here has been trying to help prepare the town for the worst. Their magics were not able to uncover some of the truths that have been going on. No great revelations, but right now they're, be honest with you, if things keep going this way, there's a lot of traders that come in that this town relies on. If the storms don't cease, if it keeps getting worse, animals of the farms will die, crops will die. The rivers have been poisoned, as what we can see, or tainted with sulfur. Not sure if you've seen those yet, but the waters are red. If we cannot find a way to fix this, there will be no crops. Our town will starve come spring.
How long has this blizzard been going on?
Since the Night of Sorrow.
I see.
And it has not stopped. I do believe we are dealing with something much more sinister, but what, I do not know.
Well, if we could speak to one of your prisoners, I think we could get a little bit closer to the truth.
And you. I understand why you hide. But did you arrive with the others, or did you meet this one in town here?
They're with. She's with us.
Hmm. She has been with us since we left.
How long has it been?
Boing.
Months.
Yeah, yeah,
Months.
months.
She's
There
been
is
with
a
us.
further question. Stardew can validate my identity.
Well, that
Rest assured, I am not the cause of your issues.
be that as it may, you may want to work on your appearances. There are others that would not appreciate your presence in our town, and, well, they're not as even-tempered as I might be, and some of these militia folk at the tower are. If you're not careful, you may find yourself sharing a cell with Caleb, or worse, they may call for your head. But then that will cause other issues. If you are here to help us, and if you are not the cause of this, you may want to go seek the Druid of the Grove. Might be more receptive to your kind.
Okay.
We'll take that into consideration.
Are there shops around town? More high-end items?
What are you looking for?
Some things of a magical nature.
Well, I mean, we do have various shops here, but most of them are tailors, weavers, local smithy, of course, the Church of Click and the Grove. The closest that you might find to what you're seeking would be the Twin Traders.
Thank you.
Well then. Now, we'll have the men escort you to where Caleb is being held. Please do not try to give the prisoner anything, and try to keep your distance.
Understood.
So, the guards, the militia, kind of come by you, and they lead you downstairs, which are these lower steps here. And as they do, bring you to this lower level, which is more of like the actual ground level of this keep. It's where that outer splay kind of thickens. You see various barrels of, in fact, I can actually just show you on this, supplies and so forth here. The walls are obviously not pierced with slits for archers or even windows. All I have is that that ramp that leads up, and another one that leads down to a lower level. And the guards just kind of bring you even lower to this dungeon level of the tower. And why is it not letting me? Because I'm not on the object token layer, right? Is that it? There we go. So, as they bring you down to the dungeon level, you see here that they do have like some bits of straw, hay, and oats, which looks like they may keep horses here from time to time. There are none currently stabled here. You do see some cells along the south east wall in the retention. They're all closed with oaken doors. They look like they're barred and locked and chained. However, there is another tunnel that goes a little further underground here, and here you can hear the sounds of something. The guard just kind of directs you toward this tunnel here, and he just kind of stands guard here.
All right. Thank you for showing us the way. We shouldn't be too long.
So, as you make your way down this twisting natural tunnel, it kind of opens up to almost like a small natural cave that has been purposed with iron bars at the mouth to create a larger holding cell. There's natural water just kind of drips down from the ceiling and walls, forming little small pools of clean water. The sounds that you're hearing are the sounds coming from, looks like, two dwarves that are inside the cell. One stands with what looks to be an iron pick, as the other is shouts at this. He shouts, like, as he's shouting, he's got this, his fist is wrapped in chain, and he's just pummeling this bound human. A human that a couple of you, Elodia, Mordecai, and Willow, recognize. Same one that you've seen once before, on a train bound for Reldon. His name was Caleb Coldwin. He was a man that you spoke during dinner, and then left the next morning at the train's last stop before it headed to Reldon.
And was also on a certain list.
And the dwarf just clocks him again and says, "Tell us where the hell our children are!" And then raises the fist again. "Who are you working with?" And just keeps, like, pummeling him. And he is bound. Like, his hands are, like, bound in front of him. He just kind of, like, picks himself up as he gets struck again.
Excuse me, gentlemen, but I believe that we have some questions that we would like to ask of the prisoner, if you don't mind.
What? And as he stops, like, punching the guy, "Who the hell are you?"
We are Fearless Landers. We've been sent here by the guild to assist with the investigation of the missing children. We have come to interrogate the prisoner.
You hear that? You got friends. I hope they're not as nice as we are. And the other dwarf picks up his iron pickaxe and just, like, knocks Caleb in the gut, just, like, toppling him more to his knees, and takes the pickaxe and strikes him across the face, like, knocking him bloody mouth to the earthen floor. And they just kind of laugh, like,
That's pretty extreme.
Well, extreme times call extreme measures. This son of a bitch is in league with the ones who stole our children, and he's gonna pay.
Oh, is he? I'd be curious to see the evidence you have.
For investigators, you don't do your research very well. You should talk to Byrne. He'll tell you what we found. And he just kind of he unlocks the cell and just waits for you to kind of go in. You play nice now. And they just close the cell and kind of walk back. They don't completely like leave. Like they do go around the corner a bit, and you can hear them kind of chatting down the other end, probably by the other guard that's at the stairwell. But they're leaving you with enough to kind of talk to Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. How are you doing?
Kind of looks up at you and kind of holds his jaw with some of his bound hands, and just you see like the blood just kind of pooling by the mouth, and he just kind of wipes it and just looks at it in his hand, and you see him just kind of roll his tongue, you know, where he's getting beat. You see the bruises and the welts kind of forming. Been better. So, which one of you is going to take the first shot at me? Let's get this over with.
Here, I will. And Willow is going to make sure she's got plenty of cover between the guards and her, and she's just going to lay on hands for tending to him. Enough to clean him up, but not enough to make it look like, you know, he's back sparkling clean again.
Look, my initial reaction is that you didn't do this. Those runes in your room were protective. What I want to know is what you know, because I know you know something.
What I know is traveling into this town and gathering supplies for my further journeys. When some of the folk needed help, and I obliged, even helped deliver one of their babies. Then somebody stole some property of mine, and the next day, whole town's in a ruckus about their children gone missing. And some of my stolen items were found at one of the homes that had been victimized. They didn't take kindly to my non-beliefs, and they found my belongings in my room and such, a little suspicious for their tastes. And since I had just arrived, who the better culprit, right? And he's still like holding his jaw. But
That's roughly what I thought was going on, but those runes were protecting you from something. What was it?
he just kind of looks up at you and pauses for a minute. Takes his hand that's bloody and just kind of puts it in front like he's wiping it on the stone. And as he does, he says some words, like these enchantment words. And you see him just encapsulated by this pillar of reddish pinkish energy. That's a little better. We can talk a little more freely, and we'll buy all of us some time. Thought those bastards would never get me bleeding enough.
What's that? Roll Arcana. Gonna tap myself with a little
Yeah,
guidance
really.
and
Take, I'll give you advantage.
yeah, you might want to make your own.
Okay. What's yours? I have a +6.
All right, that's a 12.
You know all the Arcana. You even know that Arcana's Arcana.
Yes,
19.
this is it's magic. My professional opinion.
Hey, I know this trick. I had the 3 card. So, Mordecai, seeing what he's doing, and you see like the glyphs around him from like dried blood that he's been kind of working into the stone. You believe that this is some form of something that really hasn't been seen in a while, some form of blood magic.
That came up in my research of the God King, right? Yeah, I think so.
It was mentioned in some of the notes.
Yeah. It's like, So that doesn't quite ring alarm bells to me, but I know the significance of what you just did.
What, he cast magic after he got bloodied? And oh,
Blood magic. The old one. How do you know how to do that?
I've learned a few things in my travels, but not formally trained. Something my mother's prohibited.
That explains the blood that was mixed into the chalk.
wait a minute.
But still, what?
When we first met, you knew what my tattoos meant.
I don't believe I've ever saw you before in my life.
Well, when I went from part-time paladin to full-time paladin, things got a little crazy. Remember, it was on a train, energetic redhead,
Okay, oh, I remember that
crazy
train.
tattoos.
Well, no,
That was
a lot of
yeah,
things.
Barth remembers that train as it killed his horse. Flew out the sky.
That's when the trend of all my horses dying.
I can't help it, Elodia Sharp shot your horse with the train.
He's looking. I don't recall anybody this verdant on the train.
I wasn't green then. I was a human.
Caleb, things have happened.
Redhead, tattoos.
Let's see. Yeah, I think I remember. You're the ones asking all sorts of questions on the train. Well, I'm glad you removed the tattoos.
Well, considering what ended up happening afterwards, I kind of wish I still had.
I seriously doubt that. Or at least, you should be thankful you don't have them anymore. There's a lot of bad things coming. Things that be difficult for me to explain, but some of the things that I've heard are even remotely true. This whole land is in serious trouble. And if what I suspect may be lurking in this town, I would strongly advise you to silver your weapons.
Well, I'm one step ahead of you. Oh, wait, no. My former apprentice has that hand axe.
Yep.
So, Caleb, to the point. We're not here to point fingers. We just want to save the kids. Anything you know, please.
What do you know about the demons?
I know that their taint reeks in this town, but no offense. Also, Fae. It's a very odd combination. I don't know the significance of it, though. I can tell you where the home was that they found my stolen trinkets. If that may help, you might want to start your search there for more answers. But
That would make sense.
if I'm right on some other things, though, missing children are this town's least worries. Everyone here is on borrowed time.
For reasons I can't really say, the children are important. More so than normally.
Well,
What do
Mordecai,
you-
he was also on that list.
What list?
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh.
There were two names.
Noted.
Unless I'm completely misremembering.
No, that was the. So, remember, there was another name that was on there, but you found out that that name was. It was. There was another. It wasn't like Caleb's name, but the images, the thoughts that you had, focused on Caleb when that name came up.
What did you mean by if what you believe is true, the everyone's on borrowed time?
Well, I can prove, but it's in my damn room, which I can't get to from here. Something very important that I've uncovered and been tracing clues about while avoiding certain attentions. I have a satchel that I've hid in my room. If you could get it, I can tell you, show you.
Now's not really the time for
Wait, are you talking about that
evasive answers.
one that was hidden under the dresser? The desk drawer?
So you've been in my room, and you have it?
Well, I'm... And Lewis can go digging through her bag. Let's see, you had a bunch of inks.
So that satchel had what sounded like coins, money and things in there.
Oh,
The
yeah,
one you
that
found-
bag. Here,
Yeah. So, do you go through it?
Actually, I think Mordecai had that bag because he was looking for magic.
I hand it over to Willow.
And Willow will hand it over.
Well, you hand it over to Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to give him things.
Oh, yep, sorry. I'll hold on to it, and you can just describe what I need to do with it.
Open it.
And you promise it's not going to explode in my face.
Only if you open it upside down over your face.
But that means if I open it up that way, it'll explode that, which really doesn't, deal with the exploding problem.
Just open it.
Okay. And I'm gonna open it.
Okay, and you see, a lot of coins in there. There's various notes, almost like small little journal. But there is something in there that you do see. You've seen it, something similar to it, once before. At the Nymph's Rest, when the gnome fell over and dropped this reddish hunk of metal, this red nugget.
You know how Willow was green? Now she's more of a yellowish. Where the hell did you get this?
There are rumors that strange metal that had been found and is being mined secretly by the Holland military.
You know what this goes to, right?
If it's what I think it is the basis for the armor that almost ended our civilization.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Okay.
And you don't know how much unwanted attention that little piece of metal has brought.
Right. Well, where did you get this?
Let's just say a shifty merchant by the Moonvale happened to come across it. And he got it from another merchant who got it from somebody who claimed to be a miner. Funny thing was, when I was probing for more questions on that, the fellow went up missing. I believe if it wasn't for my magics, I would be missing too.
Right.
The miner, though, I believe was from further up north in Tor Thorum. But if they do have this, if they are mining this, this changes everything.
What if they're building that general a big scary suit? Oh no. Also, there might be Nemesis on the way here.
Here. Nemesis. Why would they be here?
So, tell me what you know about the Exalted.
They are essentially walking conduits for the goddess of law. They basically channel her power and become walking avatars. But they no longer exist. The last trained Exalted died in the Nemesis Wars.
And Willow's gonna kind of look at her compatriot.
Out of character, I'm a little confused. Is this guy an Exalted?
They seem to think he is.
Okay. Oh crap.
Tell me, Caleb, what was your birth name?
Caleb Goldman.
Right, let me ask that question a second time. What is your favorite color?
Blue, no wait, yellow. What makes you think that I have another name?
Call it an educated hunch based on information from the people who you really don't want to meet. And if I can, you know what? Tell you what, if I can guess that name, you'll be a little bit more honest with this. How's that sound?
And he's just silent, just looking at you like, all right, what game are you playing?
Well, I'll be playing Boggle, but he's not here.
Okay.
You gonna feed him to a gnome that shapeshifts into a bear?
God damn it.
It's a great game.
It's kind of mean, but okay.
I can't find my notes.
You've drawn a blank.
Mordecai, you're the one who stared at that list for so long. What was the other name?
Can I roll an intelligence check or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, make a intelligence check.
The 19.
All right. Well, you do recall the name. It is almost like a sort of elvish, but not light elvish, Dark Elvish in origin.
All right.
So you repeat the name, and he just. Where did you hear that name?
I would rather not say at this point.
I'd be careful speaking it. It's a very dangerous name.
Is it yours?
It is a name I've tried to avoid for many years. And anybody wise would do the same.
And he is. I might have to take a rain check on buying those magic items.
Right, well, I have a secret I'd like to share with you since you still seem to be a bit disinclined. You know that name? There's some nemesis who are coming for the person who has that. And they're pretty sure it's you.
He just kind of smiles, and I guess it's poetic in a way.
Being brutally murdered by a bunch of soul-stealing evil guys, you kind of lost me on that one.
My family's a bit odd. I didn't choose them. Fate chose them, apparently. Without going into excessive details, my mothers are the Sisters of Darkwood Forest. Now, I can let anybody make a history check to see if they know what that is.
I ignored the one.
So
18 apparently.
Okay.
Wow, we have like no modifiers, and hey, look at
It's like the saving throws on that creature that last fight has just kept rolling high.
Uh,
Anyway, so yeah, all of you are familiar with it. It's the Sisters of Darkwood. What that is, there's a forest. In fact, it's one of the few forests in Scythia. Most of Scythia is just a wasteland. This is the only place that is untouched by the vileness that surrounds it. Rumor has it that is because of a band of sisters, dark elves, powerful, magic-wielding dark elves, that call it their home. Many that have gone there have not come back. The few that have seen the edges have told of very graphic horrors from the woods. The woods themselves coming alive to strike at those trying to force their way in or trying to hurt it. People have tried to burn the wood down to no avail. Flying over it, the trees' canopies are so thick you cannot see the ground below. And supposedly, the only few people that have gone in and come out to tell the tale was during the Second Nemesis War. The heroes that fought against the Nemesis and the Mad God apparently knew somebody or had somebody with them that knew the sisters. And it was the sisters that used their powerful magic to reveal the location of magic that would help thwart the Mad God's plans. They're the only ones that have come out of that forest to tell any tales. So whether you believe this, Caleb, or not, is up to you. Well, yes, my mother's thought it would be best to train my sister, spend all their time focusing on her energies and efforts, properly training her, mind you, and sending her off on some mission to Sanctuary many years ago. I've never seen her since. But as for me, they had other plans. They thought it would be best to have me sent to one of the mages' colleges and have me watched over by the mages there as some sort of threat to the realm. I don't know if they were worried that I would hurt things or things would hurt me, but luckily they did not leave the forest with me. And I discovered how to use some of my magics to cloak my whereabouts. That is where, at this frontier town on the border of Scythia, I met another gentleman. His name was Caleb. I was a very poor boy. Didn't have much. Nothing in terms of family living after the horrors of that wander the wastes. So I made him a deal. He'd take that name and gets to live a life of luxury in the towers that would be his permanent home till the day he dies. And I live out whatever life under his name. A deal was struck, and he took the writ of acceptance, and the mages at the college were never the wiser.
So you say he was poor and didn't have a lot. You know what else he doesn't? A life. Because he got brutally murdered by a nemesis hunting for you.
Yeah, that, as I said, would be poetic justice. If what my mother's tried to hide from me was true, I'm glad I have this barrier between me and you. Not sure how you would react to this. Apparently, my, if you would call it that, grandfather is none other than Zamir himself.
Willow's eyes get... Wait. Does that mean you knew him?
No, he was... No. I didn't even know my father. He died in the Second Nemesis War. So there you have it. Why I think it's irony and poetic that they come to kill me. The creations of a mad god killing the last descendant of the same god. So if they are coming for me, are you waiting along with me for my death?
No. Are we, guys?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, believe what you want to believe. I have done no wrongs. I have tried to live the best life that I could, helping those around, gathering knowledge, and using that knowledge to help empower others. If this is how it ends, then this is how it ends. But if they are coming, then everyone in this town is in grave danger.
If we can get you out of this cell, would you stay with us?
And you think staying with you would be safer how? Can you defeat the Nemesis?
We hope to, one day. But for now, I would be a lot more comfortable you being alive.
I don't think they would be very happy with you taking me from their playtime. Though, they're not going to be happy when they find out that they can't touch me anymore.
Yeah. How long can you maintain that?
As long as I'm alive.
Yeah, but people need things like food and water.
Exactly. As long as I'm alive.
Okay. You know what? We'll buy you a little bit.
Let me go talk with them.
Let me get you some good berries. That'll buy you at least like 10 days.
Well, there's
I start
a
walking
problem
out.
with that. Hand me my satchel.
Willow is going to take the nice red ore out and hand over the satchel.
Okay, as you go to give him the satchel, your hand and the satchel stop and compress around the cylinder, that red and pinkish glowing cylinder. As I said, this will be a problem, but I will be safe as long as I'm alive. They will not be able to touch me. This also helps prevent a few things from spying on me, which is why we're able to have this nice private conversation.
Wait, are people spying on us? I frantically look around.
Let's just say somebody's been using sensors to check in on me. But that's... Now you have hopefully everything you need to know from me. I don't understand why you think I'm some important person on some list. The only magic that I've ever been able to utilize, and sparingly, is what you see here. Bits of power from my blood. I've learned how to use it in interesting ways, but nothing earth-shattering.
I'm still jealous, though.
I mean, if you want
Wish
to be
I could
killed
do
by the
blood
Nemesis,
magic.
go right ahead.
Oh, that's already going to happen no matter.
Why do you say that?
It may have upset them along the road.
And you live to tell the tale.
I think they want me to suffer first.
And you still travel with her.
Is rather.
Look, you're all still alive here because I could defeat a death tyrant. Okay.
Let's. I thought we agreed never to speak of that again.
And meanwhile, Sonosha's just, once she learns about the barrier, she's like poking it with her finger. And you just see like little light, almost like electricity, just kind of sparkle where her fingernail just kind of taps it. Just like ding, ding, zzz, zzz, zzz.
Look, I don't have anything left in my life other than a few core beliefs. So let's just keep on going.
Right. Well, that is new news. That does complicate things. It is something to think about. Well, I told you what I know, and now you know what I fear. You want to ask him any other questions?
I don't, guys, do we?
I was going to ask him if that memory orb rang any bells for him, but he can't quite see it.
No, he can't view it.
All right, you're getting the play version of with finger puppets and everything.
Remember, you still have your other research notes too.
I do. I have a very large stack of research notes. Does he know anything about the blood god?
I've been looking into that as well, which is part of the reasons that concerns me so much about recent going-ons in Holland. From what I know, supposedly one of the kings of old was this blood god. Took his entire empire to what is now known as Sanctuary, where my sister went and never came back. Apparently, some tyrannical rule was overthrown there at some point, and things were happy for a bit, and now apparently new leadership is in order. And the name, the Blood God, has resurfaced.
Your sister made some really bad choices, says the little meta pigeon in the corner. Married the wrong person.
Where did this bird come from?
Well, and he doesn't look anything like a dark elf. He looks completely human.
Do I detect any Mel? Do I detect any magic other than like his very clear, obvious barrier?
And you're using detect magic. Let me see here. I gotta look up the exact phrasing on something. Wait, that's actually what I wanted here. Where is it? Okay, I just gotta check one other thing here. That's right here. You do detect magic. That's not from that pillar.
All right.
So,
Like, where is the so is he pinging magical?
no, actually, there's a little like spot in the middle of the air that's detecting as magic, like a little like 1-inch spot in the air.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
So Willow's gonna lean in close. Do you know anything about an arch heretic or a massive cathedral built of flesh and
I don't really know anything about that, but there's a little bit of there's a magic thing floating in the air right about over that way.
Oh no. Well, probably too late. Might as well keep going. Like shoot it away with a stick or something.
I don't have a stick.
Ask Mordecai to borrow his.
It's one of magic missiles.
Yeah, she will ask him if he does know anything about the arch heretic or the cathedral.
No. He does not know anything of those. Not sure their significance, but that sounds like ancient history before the Nemesis Wars. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. What is the significance of those?
Well, I've got a working theory. More of a belief at this point. That they're what led him down this mad road. There's only one way you can cure corruption. You cut it out, you purge it, because if a bunch of people start praying in madness, it only breeds madness.
Right. Well, I guess the clock's ticking then. You know where to find me.
Well,
He's just
there-
kind of sitting
there's
down.
there's one thing left that we have to do. Everybody to react in heretic, not heretic, in hysterics.
Wait, what?
Are you
Well, it's gonna-
serious?
Well, it's gonna look pretty weird if we walk out and he's got a barrier up.
I've already left to go talk to the captain or warden of this place.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he threw up a barrier. What the hell is this? Guards!
So the guards come
'Cause I'm-
back. If you're making all that ruckus, the guards are coming back, and they see the energy, and they get you out of the cell, and they're calling for Burn. As
Calling for who now?
the Grand Wizard of Aidenwall, the one that's been stationed here by the Church of Click. He's the guy with the green and blue robes that said hi to you when you came in.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're calling for him. And Mordecai, you like, as you're getting a captain, you see like the guards, like the commotion, the guards.
God damn it! What now?
And the wizard and several militiamen come storming down. Do you go with them, or do you stay? Try to look.
Yeah, I go with him. I go with him.
So following in tail, he's like, he just kind of looks at you like, what the, okay. And he goes, running past you, and you see him like pull out he just kind of like snaps his fingers, and like this large twisted serpent-like staff just comes into his hand as he's running down. All the militia guards are running down, and they all just coalesce in this hallway. Burn, what's going on? Oh my! What have you done? And he's just kind of. Is anybody hurt?
No, we're all fine.
How did this happen?
He was bleeding, and then suddenly there was magic.
Are you trying to say that he bled magic?
No,
Uh,
he bled and then cast magic.
Caleb, cease and desist, whatever this is, right now. You're not making things easier for yourself. And Caleb is responding, I assure you, nothing from this point on is going to be easy. Don't worry. You can, don't let your cone-pointed hat get all bunched up. I will be here. But your men will no longer touch me. And they should pray that nothing touches them.
Don't threaten, please, Caleb.
Threat? No. Warning. They have other things to worry about. I am the least of their concerns.
You're not making this easier on me.
I will not drop my protective barrier. So, you and your men can do whatever it is you want to do, but I will be here, waiting. And Burn is waiting for what? Justice, I suppose? Poetic or otherwise? And the men go in there and they're trying to, like, get towards the barrier and they realize they can't, and Burn is trying to identify and try to dispel the barrier, trying to see what he can do with that, and having a little bit of issues with that, but they are focusing on this. What did the rest of you do?
Right, well, this only proves our investigation must be made in more. We
Is
should
the,
continue on it.
Yeah, y'all could have
Is the-
waited
is
to
the-
raise a commotion until after I made my attempt to enact some kind of bail for Caleb.
I don't know. Is
Appreciate that.
this is the thing that's obviously a arcane eye, even though I don't know that's still there.
You mean that bit of magic that you picked up that is
Yeah.
still there? Yes.
Is it it hasn't moved?
Has not moved.
All right.
Mordecai, I'm not the one who threw up a magical barrier that had to be explained.
Well, who put up a yell to the guard? That's what I'm talking about. I just needed like 5 minutes.
Well, I did, because if we tried to leave here and pretend it didn't exist, they'd arrest us.
Yeah, so you give me 5 or 10 minutes to go talk to them before you do that.
I didn't know you left.
Where's the captain?
Captain's on that main entry hall. He's commanding some of the militiamen, having them move their stations around to add more security by where Caleb's at and where Burn's at right now.
I need to talk to him. Will he speak with me?
Yes, but you can understand that he is busy, but he will speak with you.
Thank you. I'll go ahead with a sigh and walk down the hallway again.
And then before we leave, Barth's going to call out, Burn, was it? I believe you should know there appears to be a small bit of magic right about there, and he points at wherever the thing that he detected is.
Yeah, I detected that. Probably more workings by Caleb. Seems to have a knack with magic and the arcane. Wonder what other surprises he has. Church will not like this news. was everybody doing?
You know what I'm doing.
Going to talk to the captain.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you run into the captain. He's very busy, but he gives you a moment of his time.
Hi. I assume you know why we're here, yes?
Yeah, you're looking into the missing children. You wanted to question the deviant that's in the cells below. That one that apparently is causing more trouble since your visits.
He was beaten half to death and was trying to defend himself. No one was harmed. It wasn't a harmful spell. But, yes. We need him to continue the investigation to find the children.
Need him how?
We need him to come with us.
Out of the question.
Is there some kind of bail we can pay?
It's not a question of bail. The church almost had his head. If it wasn't for him being imprisoned here, he would be dead by now.
So we have to go talk to the church then?
No. If he leaves here, those who have had their children taken, some of them militiamen, would probably kill him on sight.
I do
this is
enjoy
the best
how...
protection that he has right now until we can find the truth of what happened.
Yeah, protection where he was nearly beaten unconscious. Good protecting. We can't have him die.
Good. Then you agree that he should stay in the tower where he will not die.
Can I at least get your promise that he won't be beaten to death? Because that's the most dangerous thing I see right now.
Well, that is something you should take up with the church, and it is their men who are doing the interrogation.
It's very unlike Click to do so.
You know, I would agree. It's very unlike Click to unleash hordes of whatever that came and did whatever to these children. But yet some villagers believe it so.
It's true that they believe it. Oh well. I didn't quite expect reason from this village, so... Yeah, excuse me. I'll go back to the group.
Alright, you head back to the group, where Burn is working on enchantments and trying to dispel whatever magical energies are in there with Caleb. So
Burn, just stop. We're gonna go talk to the church. Caleb, if we get the church's word that they won't harm you anymore, will you drop the barrier so the guards will stop going crazy?
maybe a little late for that. Besides, with the if your hunches are correct, this barrier may be the last thing protecting this village from utter destruction.
Is that right, Willow?
Well, they're going to be coming after him at some point.
Well, that's one of the reasons I was trying to get the captain to take him with us, but he won't let that happen. The next best thing I could think of was to get them to stop beating him to death, because we need him to be alive. And Apparently, we can't even get that unless we talk to the church.
Well, until we can figure out where that thing came from, and she's pointing at some random space in the, hoping that she's pointing at the orb.
Oh, since Burns been casting Dispel Magics, that thing's gone.
Well, disregard that sentence.
How powerful of a caster are you, sir?
It's an odd question to ask somebody.
You haven't been able to dispel the barrier.
Not even sure what this barrier is. It's I haven't seen anything like it.
It might not be possible to dispel it.
Well, what little I know is that's magic's from way, 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 way long.
Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar with it, but no specifics. But I can promise you that that barrier isn't going to harm anyone. All it will do is just keep him from harm and from moving. Eventually, he'll either have to eat, drink, or die. So there's a timer on it.
What sort of ancient magic do you think this is?
The ancient kind. Now,
Dragon magic. You see, it's like red like fire.
I'm sure that's what it is, Eric. Willow. I'm sure that's what it is.
Positive.
we have to be places.
Make sure they're of the right mind before they leave here. It sounds like they may have been enchanted or under some influence. They seem to be spouting nonsense. Dragon magic.
I think it's because of her jug right there, and it's got all this great liquid.
All right, Willow. Calm down.
Research and knowledge beyond someone's kin can usually seem like mad ramblings, but
Okay, let's go drinking.
I mean,
no.
mad
Yep,
I
ramblings.
told you I don't drink.
Pretty standard for
Let's
Willow.
go drinking, Mordecai.
Let's just go.
All right, rope up. Let's get back in the storm.
Oh, God.
All right, and where are you headed?
Oh, we have two places that we can go to right now, everyone. We can go to where his equipment was taken, that house, or we can go to the Temple of Click.
If you're going to the temple, drop me off at the grove first.
I thought the Druid Grove was out of town.
No, there's a spot in town that there's the actual Druid Grove.
Because unfortunately, I'm not going into the Temple of Clay.
In fact, is that 24? There it is. Trying to update the map here so you kind of better see a few things. Step 1. You were told about the trader as well. Where is Click's temple? Church of Click. Okay. That is... Okay. Oh, I gotta find which house that was. Let me update it with these key points here. So, the Church of Click is the building, the upper left of town. That kind of looks like a gray eye.
Is it number 20?
Yes.
there?
Yes. It is
Yeah,
number
if you
20.
scroll down below the map, it'll give you the areas
Yeah.
that we know of.
They're not shared, but at least you can kind of see I got to share the tower because you've been there, but let's see. Was it this one? There is another house on the map, so I can find it because I don't think I have it marked.
You're looking for the house where his equipment was found at?
Yes, it's on here. I thought I had a marking on it.
Well, the closest place is the Grove.
I found it. So it is this one here. Bendir's
What number?
Farmhouse. It's going to be number... Oh, can't edit that. Hang on. Number 5?
Okay, the closest is the Grove, and then we can go by the farmhouse. Then I would like to go to the 13, the Twin Adders, which is on the way to the Temple of Click, and then the Temple of Click. That way, everyone that wants to be at the places can be at the places up until the end.
I think for when we go to the temple, Mordecai and Elodia should go to Click. Barth and Willow should go to the Grove.
So what you're saying is...
I'm saying the champion of Newt probably shouldn't go into the Click Temple, and the Dryad probably should go into the Click.
So you're saying we should split the party. Got it.
I know it hurts to say. It hurts me more than my voice does right now. But yes.
Why don't we all just go to the Grove, and then we can all go to the farmhouse, and we can all go to the shop, and then everybody that doesn't want to be in the Click Temple can wait outside, maybe
that makes sense.
near 19, and me and Elodia can go into the temple. That way, Willow and Barth aren't too far off if something happens.
I'm just a little concerned now that you've publicly revealed being a supporter of Click that it might be dangerous for you.
Only to that one guard.
All right.
Besides, I'm not one of these people that are casting aspersions on Newt.
I'm just worried what very zealous people might do in an act of passion.
I'll be fine. I'm sure I'll be fine. I don't want to split everyone up. Bad things tend to happen.
Well, let's get going then.
All right, so what's your first stop?
The Grove, I think.
Okay.
I will let you do the talking. I just want to be there to listen.
I will let Barth do most of the talking as the players talking is getting a bit hoarse.
Yeah.
So, Elodia would like you to make a survival check, please. All right. You travel down towards the grove. The grove is obviously a place of worship, even at a casual glance. The trees here are neatly planted, pruned, and what's interesting is you can see grass growing even in this cold, and it is well tended. Carefully placed line of bluish stones sets off a path leading to a rock calm where there's various flowers in bloom. You see nuts, berries, garlands of colorful leaves placed methodically about. Out of the whole town, this one area seems to be mostly untouched by the blizzard. There's some dusting of snow on the trees, but the ground is green and verdant. Beyond the garlands is a small path to what appears to be a shrine. And beyond that shrine is a low-roofed wooden building under the great burrows of the central oaks and pines of this copse. So this place looks like a snow-dusted forest, but in spring.
Willow is going to untie the rope and go skipping through.
Okay. It is also far less colder here than the outside. What is Barth doing?
Well. I have no idea.
Right now, Willow's just frolicking with the trees and the various flowers. What about you, Elodia?
What are we gonna do here again?
I don't know.
Why did Villa want to go here?
To gather information
About the
And
kids,
because-
where they might be.
and to maybe get some protection.
Right? Well, what does Mordecai do?
Oh, I'm just trying not to look obtrusive or aggressive. Just taking it all in.
It's very serene here. But you don't see anybody wandering about. There are little bits of birds like flying from some of the trees to other trees, just like, little happy blue jays and things like that.
Is there anything, maybe a stone altar or something?
I guess Barth will go up to the hut and knock on the door.
Okay, so you go beyond the path to that shrine and make your way to that low-roofed wooden building and tuk, 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 tuk. And you hear some scuffling and beyond, just like movement, and then the careful plodding of steps. The door opens and you see this burly dwarf with a long grayish beard. He's got a brownish, a hooded cloak, the hood over his head covering some of the baldness. Has a little wreath with like an olive branch going across his forehead, and carries a wooden walking staff that at the top is kind of forked and in between that fork is like almost looks like holly leaves and berries. Can I help you?
Greetings, sir. We are from the Fearless Landers. We've been sent here to investigate the recent disappearing children. I was wondering if you could give your take on what's going on.
And as you're saying that, you hear sounds coming nearby the building up around it. You hear "Rrr, rrr," as this large, like, black bears kind of like start slowly coming in, and the old dwarf just kind of, now, friends, let's hear what they have to say. So you're looking into the missing children. It's quite horrible what's happened that night. So many families with so many youngings missing. Are these your friends? Frolicking in our gardens?
Yeah, she does that. Don't worry. She shouldn't harm anything. Probably.
Bears. They're
Probably.
fuzzy.
On the contrary, she is quite welcome here.
Mordecai is looking uncomfortable around the bears.
They're just kind of like slowly patrolling the group, like circling here and there, just standing like, and just walking.
He
around.
was once nearly beaten to death by a bear and
A
other
wrestling
people.
Yeah. And then wasn't there a half orc flying from the top rope as well?
There were a lot of things happened. Now I need the walking staff. It's a necessity.
Don't worry about it.
So,
There's a limp.
and yeah, Sonosha's just kind of looking about, like, okay, he goes walking out with you. Well, what happened that night? Don't know the details, but I do know what you see around you. And he kind of points to where you came into the grove itself, to the outside where it's a blizzard. That is not Newt's doing. That is not natural. I do fear that whatever has caused this has summoned this weather, be it to silence us, impede our searches for the missing children, or maybe an attempt to kill us, bury what they may have left behind. I am Jeru, Druid of the Grove, follower of Newt.
Drew, the druid.
What's the matter? You don't like dwarves?
Oh, no, of course.
You've never seen a dwarven druid before?
No, it's just the name. Drew the druid. Seems pretty apt on the nose.
And what is your name?
Mordecai Hillinsby.
Not all of us were born from the heavens, Mordecai. My parents thought the name was good enough, and I felt throughout my years that it has served me well.
I mean, I didn't mean anything bad by it. I'm sorry.
So are you all followers of Newt? I will...
In a way, I guess you could say that, in a way.
All comers to the grove are expected to make an offering to the Daughter of Change. He just kind of gestures to the shrine.
Is there a specific type of offering that is
Depends.
accepted?
If you are not a believer in Newt, a follower, then it is expected to part with several golds to her. Otherwise, those of her followings, she does accept other offerings.
I am not a follower of Newt, but I believe in her as a an ally in general change that is good in the world.
I'll offer a few golds.
Okay.
I'll pull out my bag of holding and start rifling through it, and then pull out a sack of gold and set it down. It is 100 gold pieces.
Okay. Those offerings will bring about much needed change, beneficial change to the people of Aidenwall. You have our blessing and Newt's as well. I'll tell you this. When I came to Aidenwall, I was not here for a pleasant journey. I was here because of rumors of evil that has been spreading through the land. Evil since the massacre at Aurora. It seems that the spread was not totally false from what has risen here. Sadly, our presence are not enough to completely repress the rise of such evils. But maybe you can turn the tide. I'm sure you've been welcomed by the very hospitable families of Aidenwall, and have no doubt run into Click and his followers. They keep a tight watch on many things in this town. They don't trust some of the folk here, but maybe that is in their nature. I'm not a follower. But they are suspicious of some of the families here for the wrong reasons. I see you two, and he kind of points to Barth and Senosha. You two have been blessed, touched by Newt personally. And you, well, you might,
to her bag.
well, you might pass for a very rough half-orc, I know you are also a child of Newt. Which gives me hope. Let me show you why the church is suspicious of us. And he kind of gestures about. You start to see from some of the trees smaller fey beings come out, like sprites, little fairies, just kind of floating around like they're hiding behind some of the trees. And then you notice the larger change. The bears themselves begin changing into dwarves. We are protectors of the woods and of the lands here. We are connected to the Fae in some respects. They are not evil in any regards. But the church has their own viewings on lycanthropes. And now, they think all Fae are evil here from what has happened to their children. Many folk are just worried and scared about their families. And they're willing to lash out at anybody for any reason because they're scared. But know that the folk here are not bad, and many are undeserving of such aggressive attentions. I trust as we can keep your secrets, you can keep ours. There are many families here that share this bloodline. And there are others who don't, but are still loyal to Newt. But there are equally others that are scared of what we are. And will find any excuse to drive us from here or worse.
You're pretty safe with us.
Don't worry. If you're just protectors, I'll make sure I get this all resolved. Lickety split. Let me just check my contract real fast. Yeah, yep. Lickety split.
Mordecai nods in agreement.
You are welcome in this grove, but while this grove will offer you safety and protection from the harsh world outside, it will not harbor you from the villagers' point of views. Be careful how often you come here.
Thank you. And I think we're all on the same page here in that we want to help. Please remember that not all followers of the Platinum Sun are so quick to anger and violence.
I understand. Everyone has their own point of views. Not everybody sees what they do as being evil, but they can be blind to how their actions hurt and harm others. Don't worry, I do not judge the church for what they have done. I do worry for what they could become.
Oh. Alright, I probably should. Once I can, Willow dig some things out of her bag, a couple healing potions and a few rations. And her +1 club, not the bone breaker. And go set them all down on the shrine.
Barth will also leave a few coins at the shrine as well.
Jaru will
Now-
he'll give you he gives you Newt's blessing, and as he says the prayers and gives you the blessings, you each receive 17 temporary hit points.
Nice. I need them.
May the daughter of change look over you, and may you bring the change that this town needs.
Thank you.
And there's still various little sprites and fae like flying around some of the trees, and they're not getting too close to you, but they are just kind of like, you do see like the little twinkles, the emotes of light, and like sparkling dust as they flitter about and fly around the grove itself.
Mordecai tries to catch the eye of one and give a wave and a smile.
And they'll just they're curious. They don't know what to make of you, per se, because you're new. You're all new. And they're used to kind of, staying out of sight. But they do just flutter around. They don't get too close though. But they do fly around, and there's a great bit of animals that are about. You see little deer and small rabbits and things just starting to kind of peek out of the grove, the various trees.
I'll walk up to the altar again and kneel down and take out my loot, and look curiously over at Willow with a question in his eyes.
Sure. I'll sing and dance.
I'll start playing a lively tune on the lute for the fae around the area.
All right, make a performance check with advantage because Willow is dancing.
24.
And more of the fae just kind of they come out and kind of watch the performance of them, just kind of hover and flutter about. Others are almost like sitting cross-legged in the air, just kind of watching. There are more animals just coming about. Drew smiles, seeing what you're doing here, and I am glad that she has brought you to us.
They're fascinating. I'm honestly somewhat afraid of these beings, but they're quite beautiful.
These can be mischievous, but these are not the ones you need to fear. There are more sinister fae who find doing harm to be practical jokes, and others doing harm and killing to be just as entertaining.
What about teaching wild animals to speak like rats?
That is something that is normally you only find that where there are crossways, gates to the Feywild. This grove, for example, has intersecting ley lines as such. Hence, and he just kind of gestures for all the happy fae that are around. If there are other junctions, however, there's no telling what else may be about. If anything else came from the Feywild that was not kind to humans, and, well, these fairy folk don't mind people from this world, but there are a lot of other fae that take less kindly to non-fae. If any such creatures have come over, then that would be a problem indeed.
Well, Barth, looks like Newt has some work for us.
As it would seem so. By chance, would you have you noticed anything unusual happening lately other than the snowstorm and the children?
I mean, those are the most unusual occurrences as of late. But outside of that, no, that is that is why I even came here, was to help prevent such evil from rising, and sadly feel that we have failed to stop it.
I see. Well, thank you for your time.
And he just smiles and just kind of does a respectful little bow. And he taps his staff a couple times on one of the rocks, and the Fae just start to kind of go back slowly to their hiding, and the other dwarves start to turn back into black bears.
Well, we should get going.
Okay.
Willow will seem really torn about something for a moment before going up to him and asking, weird question, but do you happen to have a really nice piece of wood around here? About, 4 inches by 4 inches?
You just want kind of a 4-inch block of wood.
Mm-hmm. Quality wood. A couple if you have them, because I don't have the skill.
How many do you need?
Well, if I can do it right on the first try, 1. Otherwise, I might need a few.
He goes over to one of the large oak trees, and you see him just kind of put his hand on it, and he's almost whispering to it. And for a moment, you almost see like the tree just kind of sway in a light, gentle breeze that doesn't exist. And you see him take the staff, and he mutters, "Thank you, friend." And he touches one of the larger branches on it. And as he does, the branch gets sliced, like just clean cut through the tree. And the branch falls down. And he takes the staff and just goes over the fallen branch. And as he does so, you see bits of the bark peel away. You see some of the bits of wood kind of shred away until all that's left are 4 4-inch cubes of wood.
Thank you very kindly for your gift. I will ensure it won't be wasted.
I would hope not. This friend has trusted you, believes in you, as we all do. And he gently puts his hand on the tree. And when he does, you see the spot that got cut off. You see a little, like, it's almost like a little twig starts to grow there, but stops after like 2 or 3 inches.
In the oddest sentence I think I've had to say in a while, Willow will thank the tree and
Alright. Does anybody do anything else, or?
No, Mordecai quietly waits.
Fair enough. So Willow collects her 4 wooden cubes. Where is your next destination?
I think it was the farmhouse, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So as you make your way out, I would like another survival check.
Guidance?
Yes, have some guidance.
All right. Well, as you make your way through the snow-laden thoroughfare, being guided, are you all tied up, by the way?
Probably.
We're pretty close to the
Prob-
destination. Yeah, let's just keep doing it for safety.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as you plod your way through the feet of snow that has claimed the roadway, the wind once again begins to pick up and howl suddenly as the roar of the wind begins to settle. You hear a low guttural growl, and then another, and then another, till a loud howl is let loose as a group of large wolves slowly approach. One of them stands up on its hind legs and points towards you as the rest of the pack quickly charges in your direction. That is where we're going to end today's session.
Oh fuck.
So much for the werewolves not being friendly.
Some of the werewolves aren't. Which is going to raise an important question next session. Do werewolves count as animals when in wolf form?
No. No, they do not.
Drats.
It's good. Good catch, though. Good try. So, all right. I'm going to stop the stream here, and I will end the recordings there. So hopefully Rick and everybody else can kind of see what's been going on. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Toodles. Bye.